watch our show. You'll feed your heart and soul, meeting people in the know. Christine's Corner, Christine's Corner, Christine's Corner.
Hi, welcome to Christine's Corner. Thank you for coming back and enjoy our show. I want to introduce you to Jean Kelly, retired librarian at the Plainville Library.
Hello, Chris.
Hi.
It's wonderful to be back on your show again.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful show, and I really enjoy watching it and being here. So thank you very much. And tonight we're going to read some more stories. The first one is entitled, What's Your Something Special? And as we're sitting here talking to you this evening, I'm wondering, what's your something special? Because we all have something that we really would like to do. And the best way to do it is to start and don't let go. Keep that image in your mind of what it is you want to do or be. This book tonight is written by Catherine Gibson. We've read her wonderful books before, and it's illustrated by Mary Fletcher. What's your something special? And there's some wonderful illustrations to begin with. You can't catch me, I heard someone shout. It was the last day of school, and as usual, I was looking out at the other kids playing at recess. I'd often wondered how it would feel to follow my friends in a chase. What would it be like to climb the ladder or to swing from the monkey bars? I would grab onto the bar and let it go for another while my feet walked through the air. But I'm not able to run or climb or even walk one step. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't do these things because my legs don't move. The bell rang at the end of the day. All the excited children rushed past me down the crowded hallway. They knew that summer vacation would start as soon as they ran through the school doors. While I waited outside for my ride, my friend Beth tapped me on the shoulder. "What's wrong, Samantha?" she asked. "Nothing," I said at first, but Beth kept looking at me. "I wish I could play with the other kids on the playground," I finally admitted. Beth nodded. "So do I. No one plays with me either. I guess they think it's strange that I sit alone, drawing all the time, even at recess." I looked up at her. Maybe I wasn't the only one who felt so alone. "Hey, Sam," she said, "do you think we could spend some time together this summer?" "Sure," I said quickly. "Great. Gotta go," Beth shouted as she ran for her bus. When my mom came, she lifted me into the back seat of the van. "So how's my special kid?" Mom asked. "I don't want to be a special kid anymore," I grumbled. "That just means I'm different. I'm special for what I can't do. I can't walk. Everyone else is special for what they can do. I just want to be the same as everyone else." Mom wrapped her arms around me and held me close. "Oh, Samantha," she whispered, "just like everyone else, you are unique. When you find the someone special you hold inside, you'll also have the key to share it with the others. And there's a big sign that says Circus in town. On the way home, Mum glanced at me now and then in the rearview mirror. Finally, she said, "Samantha, you may never walk, but there are so many things you can do. You have a wonderful imagination. That's why you can write such beautiful poems and stories. That's something very special about you. Your family, friends, and teachers can help guide you, but only you have the key within your heart to make it happen." "Okay, Mum," I murmured, staring out the window, but I had heard it all before. When we turned the corner, I saw a huge billboard that made my spirit soar. "Mum, Mum, look at that! A circus is in town. I've never been to a circus before. Please, can I go with Beth?" I asked excitedly. "Well," Mum answered slowly, "I'm not so sure if... Well, okay. I would be happy to take you and Beth to the circus." That night, I called Beth. She was so excited. It was all we could talk about for days and days. Finally, it was the big night. We sat under the circus tent, eating pink cotton candy and nibbling from popcorn, waiting eagerly for the show to begin. The lights dimmed and the music came on. The ringmaster thundered, "Ladies and gentlemen, the most amazing show of the century is about to begin." So many things began to happen at once. Clowns with huge feet frolicked and tumbled. A glittering performer stood gracefully on a horse galloping around the ring. There were trapeze artists flying over my head. Then the ringmaster announced, "And now for the most magnificent magician ever to dazzle your eyes." A mysteriously man swirled his silk cape, and fierce-looking tiger jumped out of a cloud of smoke. A second later, the tiger vanished, only to reappear in the center ring. We watched wide-eyed as one spectacular act after another took place. When the show was over, the crowd poured out into the cool night air. I was surprised to see the magician performing outside. A small group had gathered around him, and he looked past them when he saw Beth wheeling me towards him. He bent down and asked, "How did you enjoy the show?" Beth giggled with her hands over her mouth. I said softly, I believe in you. I believe in your magic. Can I be in the circus one day? Can I fly in the trapeze?" The magician smiled sadly. "Wait here for me," he said, swirling his cape. He lit up with bright sparks of color. Then he disappeared into a puff of gray smoke. It was not long before the magician appeared once again out of the same cloud of smoke. He pulled an object from his cape and gave it to me. "Sunglasses?" I asked, a little disappointed. Are they magic? No, he admitted, but they can help you see what you have never seen before. I don't need any help seeing, I grumbled. At times, we all need help seeing, the magician said, mysteriously. He slipped the glasses over my eyes and began to recite these words. When you find you're something special, you'll know it right away. It comes from deep inside you and never goes away. It's something you've always had, but can't find in a book. Don't give up. Just try again. Take another look. There is a special gift that only you can share. The more you give from your heart, the more you'll find it there. When you look inside yourself, believe in what you see. You'll find you're something special. Your heart will hold the key. Then he swirled his cape around him and was gone. On the way back home, Beth chattered excitedly about the magician. I sat quietly, hearing the magician's words playing in my head like a song. Did I have something special? If so, what was locked inside of me, and where was the key? When we pulled into Beth's driveway, we hugged and said goodbye. As we drove away, I slipped on the sunglasses and closed my eyes. I put my hand out the open window and felt the cool air blow through my fingers. I felt like a bird cycling high above. Then I became a trapeze artist, flying through the air. My wheelchair was nowhere in sight. That night, as I sat in my wheelchair in my bedroom, I kept the sunglasses on, even though I could hardly see at all in my dark room. I took them off and wondered if there was a button to push off a switch to make them work. With a sigh, I tried them on again, tightly closing my eyes. Oh, I wish I could find the key inside of me, I said aloud. I wish I could run and climb and fly on a trapeze. But my legs didn't move. I ripped the sunglasses off and flung them across the room. I covered my face with my hands and cried, Where is the key inside of me? I wiped my tears and saw that the sunglasses had landed near my bed. I wheeled my chair over to get them, but they were just out of my reach. I leaned closer, scooting to the edge of my wheelchair. Leaning as far as I could, I inched my fingers across the floor. I came closer and closer until I felt the smooth edge of the rim. But each time I tried to grab the sunglasses, I pushed them further away. Oh no, I cried. I can't do it. I can't do anything. Out of nowhere, the magician's words came to me. Don't give up. I tried one last time, reaching even further than before. At last, they were in my grasp. I did it. The sunglasses were in my hand. I sat back, clutching my sunglasses with a sigh of relief. At that moment, the phone rang. It was Beth. Her voice sounded soft and sad. "What's wrong?" I asked. With a sniffle, she said, "I love going to the circus so much. I wanted to draw it for you, Sam, but my drawing was not coming out how I wanted it to. Then I pressed too hard and tore a big hole in the paper." "Oh, Beth," I said, "I understand how you're feeling. For different reasons, we feel the same way." I told her how I threw my sunglasses across the room. It wasn't long before we were giggling. I let her know that I thought she was the best artist in the school because she draws straight from her heart. "When I write my stories, Beth, will you draw the pictures for me?" I asked. "Really, Sam?" she said softly. "Sure," I said. "You've got something special." Early the next morning, I sat at my desk in the bedroom, holding the sunglasses in my hand. Through the sunlit window, I saw my reflection. I put down the sunglasses and started to write. Everyone has a gift inside. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. The key is within your heart. I laughed a little at myself and kept smiling as I hummed the magician's rhyme like a song, over and over. And that is the story that you have something special inside you. What a great, wonderful thought. And now, if we have time, we have 5 minutes. I will try very quickly to read the second book that we have. And this one is called Sophie, Through Sophie's Eyes. Again, by the same author. Which again has wonderful illustrations. In a small town, not too far from here, lived a girl named Sophie. She was like most other girls, her age, except she could not hear or speak. Sophie was deaf. To communicate, she would read people's lips and speak with her hands using sign language. Sophie loved to draw pictures, read fairy tales, but most of all, she loved to dance. One of Sophie's favorite things to do was to watch people dance on television. She would look for old movies that had dancing in them and pretend that she was one of the dancers. Once, Sophie went to a beautiful wedding and was fascinated by all the people spinning and twirling on the dance floor. She watched as the ladies were spun around in their pretty dresses and high-heeled shoes. She was in awe with their gentle and graceful manner. While everyone else was dancing, Sophie found herself feeling the vibrations of the music coming through the dance floor. She too was swaying and dancing just like the other guests. Sophie's mum also loved to dance. The two of them would dance together for hours. They would move the furniture around and turn the living room into a dance area. One day, Sophie's mum decided to surprise Sophie with a little dance area in the bedroom. While Sophie was at school, her mum had long mirrors and a wonderful ballet bar put in her room. It looked like the real dance studio. When Sophie came home that day, She was so surprised she never could have imagined having her own dance studio. The only thing that was missing was other dancers to dance with. So the next day, Sophie went to school with a big smile on her face. She still couldn't believe she had her very own dance area. As she sat at her desk, the teacher passed out a flyer in the class. The flyer was from the local dance studio. They were offering dance lessons to the students at her school. Sophie was so excited. She couldn't wait to share the news with her mom. While on the bus traveling home, Sophie started daydreaming about taking dance lessons at the dance studio. When the bus stopped in front of Sophie's house, she leapt off the bus and went running inside. She ran right to her mum and handed her the flyer. Sophie quickly signed, "Can I take the dance lessons? Can I?" At first, her mum was worried and signed, "The girls that take the dance lessons can hear the music. They can listen for the teacher's instructions. It might be too hard for you." Sophie signed back, "Mom, I could watch the teacher and follow. I don't need to hear the music. I can feel it." Her mum smiled and signed back, "Okay, we can try it." Sophie jumped up and down and signed to her mum, "Thank you, thank you." The next day after school, Sophie's mum took her to the dance studio. As Sophie entered, she stopped and looked all around the room. The dance room was just as she had imagined. It was a large room with floor-to-ceiling mirrors and a wooden ballet bar that went down the entire side of the wall. The dance teacher went over to greet them. Sophie signed, "Hello, my name is Sophie. I am excited to take dance lessons." The teacher signed back, "Hello, Sophie. My name is Miss Helen. I am glad you are excited to take dance lessons. We will have lots of fun." Sophie and her mum were happily surprised that Miss Helen knew sign language. It was the time for the first dance lesson to begin. Miss Helen brought Sophie to the center of the room and introduced her to the class. Sophie signed to the girls, "Hello, my name is Sophie." The girls looked puzzled as Sophie used sign language to greet them. When the class started, Miss Helen signed to Sophie to line up and join the other girls at the ballet bar. And as we won't have time to totally complete this story, Sophie, I'm sure, goes on to be a great dancer because she had a dream and was very strong-minded enough to go on to achieve it. And another time, I hope we can finish this story in its completion. Thank you.
I thank you, Jean,
Yes.
Kelly, for reading these wonderful books,
You're welcome.
Sophie, and we'll definitely have you back on, and we finish the story.
Lovely.
And maybe start from beginning to the end.
That would be lovely.
Wonderful reader. Thank you very much for coming back and tuning in to my show, Christine's Corner. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.